Welcome to Scrambled Eggs Zone of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Master System, folks. So this is probably by far the hardest zone in the game, and it's much worse in the Game Gear version. As I said, the Game Gear version is a much harder experience, and don't worry, I'll play it. But anyway, this is by far the hardest zone in the game, if only because of these stupid tube contraptions. And, oh yeah, that's right, you saw it for a split second, but we'll see it again, because I fucked up. The bombs have returned. I hate the bombs. I don't know why. I hate those bombs in every Sonic game. I fucking hate them. They drive me up the wall. And I forgot how to do this. You can actually just jump clear over that platform with the bomb, but whatever. So I fuck up a few times. Who cares, right? And while I do say this is by far the hardest zone in the game, there are plenty of rings and plenty of freemen that respawn, so you shouldn't ever have any trouble, you know, with this place. At least, you shouldn't ever get a game over. I mean, shoot, I think I get 3 lives here in Act 1 alone. So the reason that these tube contraptions are so annoying is because, fuck! Because you have to be holding the proper direction whenever they branch into other pathways. Like, whenever the tubes split off into different ones. Like, right there, I had to be holding left and down. And right, to get the free man. And then I have to hold down, and then I land on that, I jump off before it falls, and back into another tube. And believe me, Act 1's pretty tame. There's a few spike pits you can get into, but you can get out of all of them. Act 2 is a different story, however. Fuck! Actually wasn't supposed to go in that tube. What you want to do is just keep riding this platform. You don't jump in that tube. Keep riding. You don't jump on that and climb into that tube. You jump in this one. And then this takes you to the final pipe-ish maze, which we're actually going to be here for a little bit because... yeah, I don't know, we just are. I always forget what buttons I have to push. Like, I have to hold down right there. And I have to hold right, and then I fucked up because I didn't hold, I think, up. It goes really fast, and it can actually get pretty tough to handle and to pay attention and whatnot. If you want a nice little tip, though, if you push pause, then the whole screen will stop, and you can see what direction you need to be holding. You hold that button, and then you unpause the game, you'll go in that direction. Whenever there's a branching path line. So, you know, that's a nice little tip. That helps out a lot. I didn't do that because I'm recording this for YouTube. I didn't want you guys seeing me do that. I'd rather fuck it up 4 or 5 times. That was Act 1. Not too bad. I'll admit it is a little rough. Act 2, on the other hand, is probably by far the most difficult act in the game. The only one that could rival it would probably be Green Hills Zone. Yes, Green Hills Zone. Jeez. But Green Hills Zone Act 3 is probably the only other one that can rival it, and the reason for this is because, well, the tube things are here, there are a lot more bombs, and there's actually a spike pit that once you fall into, you cannot climb back out of. We're gonna see it because I fuck up, I'll admit it, I fucked up. It's hard, alright? Yeah, well, it's hard, but it's still not like Mega Man hard. It's a pretty fine difficulty. Oh, I fucking love this. Somehow, I still managed to roll all the way into the ring box. If you keep holding left when you get to that point, you'll just always keep rolling up that hill really slow for some reason, and it's crazy. It's like momentum, physics-defying movement. I love it. Right here, you want to make the spring bounce you, and then you roll down and fly this way to get a free man, and you wind up in a spring pit that's full of, shoot, I forget how many rings. I actually sat there and counted them before, but, you know, that was a long time ago, and I really don't care. The free man will continually respawn every time you die, so, again, you're never going to run out of free men. There's always enough rings in that pit to get another free man, so again, you're never going to get a game over here. But here we are. This is by far the most frustrating part. You have to have perfect timing and know what you're doing. You're probably going to fuck it up your first try, I'm not going to lie. And we're going here, we're supposed to go down to land on that, then we go up and fuck! And I'm in the pit that you can't climb out of, so I just stood around. You can't get out of it. So, let's try this again. I cut out me going through the rest of the level because you don't want to see that. You folks want to get the move on, right? We got so many other games to do, and I can't wait to do them. Anywho, you want to be holding left, not up for that part. That's the hardest part. From here on, it's pretty smooth sailing. I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but believe me, it'll fuck you up quite a bit when you first try it. Anywho, though, that was it for Act 2, thank God. We're through the worst of the game, folks. From here, it's pretty smooth sailing. And yeah, Act 3 of Scrambled Egg Zone. I really like Scrambled Egg Zone's music. It actually, oh no it didn't. In the Game Gear version, it plays at the title screen when Dr. Eggman kidnaps Tails. But I forgot, in the Master System's very oddly designed for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's very oddly designed. I'll go into that when I do get around to making a My Thoughts video, which won't be for quite a while, because I'm going to cover both the Game Gear and the Master System games at the same time. But anyway, this is pretty much the same deal. There's a couple of tube contraptions, lots of springs, spike pits, blah, blah, blah. The typical stuff that's going to kick your ass. There's that. I was actually pretty lucky there. That's a very easy platform to accidentally run off of. It's not like you die if you do, you just have to go through the spring shit again. Anywho, though, we're at the boss of Scrambled Egg Zone. This is a potential final boss if you haven't gotten every Chaos Emerald so far. Yes, if you have not gotten 5 Chaos Emeralds. Right? Is that right? Yeah, 5 Chaos Emeralds. I'm losing count here. If you have not gotten 5 Chaos Emeralds by the time you get to Scrambled Egg Zone, then you're fucked. You're gonna get the bad ending, and this is a potential ending boss. And Silver Sonic here is actually a really fucking easy boss in that as long as you're jumping, he's never gonna hurt you. See, he bounces off of you. Kind of underwhelming, but if you defeat him, you get a nice shiny green Chaos Emerald. It's the only emerald that's actually an emerald color. Always gonna drive me crazy. Emeralds are supposed to be green. But I'm nitpicking. After that, if you've gotten all the Chaos Emeralds, you get to go to Crystal Egg Zone. And this is one fucked up place. There are cactuses, lots of crystal-type things, springs, lots of blocks with Dr. Eggman's glorious face on them. And then there are just random flying fish. As we'll see here in just, a second. Yeah, this is one fucked up place. And yet I always think of Texas because of the cactuses. So, yeah, to my friends who live in Texas, why the hell didn't you ever tell me you guys have flying fish and crystals and spikes and shit everywhere? I would have loved to know that. I'm sorry. So I know what you're thinking. This is the last zone. Surely it must be just as hard as Scrambled Egg Zone, right? No, it's seriously, it's maybe the easiest zone in the game. There's so little here that's actually going to rough you up. Act 1 had a couple of flying fish and some spikes, but that doesn't amount to anything. It's really fucking easy. I gotta admit, as a kid, I got disappointed when I first got here, because Scrambled Egg was super fucking tough, and Crystal Egg, though it's cool, it's kind of underwhelming as far as gameplay goes. I don't know what to tell you, folks. This is definitely the last zone in the game, though. You can get so many rings and free men here as well that it's so easy. There's nothing here to kill you, so I don't know. And for some reason, even though I have like 13, 14 lives at this point, even though you don't really get to see them, because nothing ever shows you having more than 9 lives, but you do have them, believe me. I go ahead and hunt down rings and lives and shit, even though I don't need them. And as you can see, the gimmicky rotating platforms that were in Scrap Brain and Gimmick Mountain Zone have returned here in Crystal Egg Zone. They're a lot smaller, and I'll admit they're a little tougher to use, a little more annoying to use. But I managed to do it pretty quickly. It's not that bad. It's not like you're going to die if you fuck it up. You're just going to have to try it again, is all. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's really underwhelming. I like how shiny the rings are here. They seem a lot more shiny for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But yeah, this is the last zone. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting very close to the end of this game. It's going to be over here in the next part, actually. Yeah, I hope you're all enjoying it. I mean, we're almost done. As you can see, I'm pissing around and getting rings for no real reason. I don't even get 100 before I finish the level. Like, I don't manage to get 100 before I get to the end. So, it's just really a waste of time. I don't know what that item right there is. I can't ever tell what it is, but hey, it didn't do anything bad, so whatever. I mentioned this back in part 1, when you roll through blocks and shit, you get this big boost of speed and momentum for some reason, and, you know, it's not necessary, but it helps. Yeah, that was the final act in the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for part 4 where we finally beat the game. I'll see you folks next time.